Nardo and Longines is further tribute to their commitment towards craftsmanship.
This man was doing and would be able to act on it.
Okay.
Who was that person? Now, I didn't know his boss or his boss's boss, but I knew someone 6 levels up who would directly affect this person's or help change this person's mind or change things on the ground. That's why I went. Otherwise, if I could have handled it with just his senior, I would have happily done that. But I didn't know anybody on the islands.
So do you think your status as an actor, kind of connected you?
For sure.
Yeah? Okay.
For sure.
Okay, thanks.
Hi Rahul, Namita here.
Yes.
I have interviewed you in the past. I have 2 questions.
My condolences.
2 questions. One, I know you have a lot of female fans. Something crazy a female fan would have done for you. And second question
Something
is,
crazy?
Yes.
The very fact that she's a fan of mine is batshit insane. Right? So.
Okay, second question, your views on inclusivity.
On?
Inclusivity.
Okay, that's the topic for another full
you
lecture.
do stand by it, but something that you...
No, I mean, look, please, I don't know when it happened that I realized either all of us move toward the light together or then none of us do. Can't leave one person behind. You just can't. It's impossible. And it's not about, please, it's not about everybody must open an NGO or do good. It's just that in your basic everyday interaction, do you fundamentally discriminate or not? And the answer is all of us do. All of us do. Whether it is smell of the body, whether it is color of the skin, whether it is what is he wearing, whether it is who talks like that, all of us fundamentally discriminate before actually mining the depths of someone's heart and head. Now you can't do that with everyone. But you can certainly agree with yourself that I'm not going to set out being discriminatory. Then if you force me to arrive at judgments that draw a negative picture of you, that happens. But I'm not going to set out to do this. And that doesn't mean that you have to live a very egalitarian life that is simple. You can go to wherever you want and spend how much ever money you want and all of that. But it has nothing to do with that. It's fundamentally, do you consider yourself superior to another person who also breathes in oxygen and exhales carbon dioxide? That is fundamental. And after you know them very well, their heads and their hearts, then if you want to arrive at a judgment, by all means do. You must. You must. We all must. But before that, and look, I fail at this every day. Every single day. But at least every day I know when I have failed, when I have discriminated, sometimes unknowingly, and it's brought to my attention by my sister or my friend, like, oh yeah, wow, that was discriminatory behavior. So inclusivity for me is like the holy grail. It's really, really, really difficult to practice it perfectly for the rest of your life, but there is no other way to be. There's just no other way to be. It cannot leave you happy. To leave someone behind knowingly cannot make the collective human soul happy. It's impossible. There's a lady in the red there.
Yeah, we'll be taking one last question.
Hi, good evening. Very inspiring talk. So I saw your website on the NGO. You have mentioned about formalities to join, support for the NGO. And if you want to do voluntary work from Bangalore, is it possible, or everything is happening in Mumbai?
For the foundation or for HEAL? Which one? There are two foundations now. Did you see the website for the foundation or for HEAL?
I don't remember. It's for the wellness, whatever you're...
It's for?
For the well-being of the larger society.
As opposed to the ill-being of society, which is the other foundation, or?
So generally, to do...
Okay, anyway, so short answer, it's in Bombay. And short answer, we don't need volunteers at all because we have mentors for the kids. And we just don't need, it's not a volunteer-friendly idea. Because our mentors are with these children for years. So it's just, it's not needed. So you have a mic, so you control
Last question.
Yeah.
Rahul, so I was wondering, what makes you who you are? What are the factors which influenced you into becoming such a fine, good human being? Like, you know, the philanthropy, the rugby, the acting, where did you grow up? I'm just curious to know.
Well, I didn't grow up very much, as you can see.
Like, you know, childhood...
yeah, I know what you mean. Do we have 2 minutes with you? I've been asked this question many times. I've been asked this question many times before, but I mean, I think rugby's taught me more than my parents. And it's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it's a thing. It's taught me how to lose, it's taught me how to, as you say, it's taught me how to, you play well and the team dinner of 4 tables, you'll have everybody sitting with you. And the same team, the next day you play badly, I'm not joking, you sit alone. Nobody means to do that. They just walk away from failure. The greatest philosophers in this world are sports persons. They realize that it's not about winning and losing. It's about picking yourself up the next day, going back into that stadium with the same 40,000 people booing you because of yesterday. And you have to come out there and play as if nothing has happened. I mean, you have to wash your soul. Forget social media. This is happening in reality. And go as if nothing has happened. As if you're born again. Your tissues, your nerves, your muscles are new. And your eyes are new. And you're looking at the world afresh. So that's something that was huge. I think cinema, the crazy, crazy fame and the crazy, crazy infame or criticism, it's crazy. I mean, it would turn anybody into a basket case. So there's a very, very famous Hollywood actor who had a history of drugs. And in an interview, he was, trying to explain that when a film releases, there's this much of attention. Not praise or criticism, just releases. Then for a year, you don't do a film. So automatically the attention comes down. And the next film goes up. Now, if you can't take the peaks and the troughs, and you want to be at the peak all the time, then releases, then drugs artificially keep you up till the next peak. But sooner or later, your productivity vanishes and you just hit rock bottom. So there's that. And non-profit, I mean, I learn every day. It's a sea of learning. There's no right way, wrong way. The only thing I have learned really, really, really hard is this is the only field in the world where you should under-promise and over-deliver. Which means that, most corporates will say Q1, Q2, Q3 in these false American accents, how they have to achieve this and this and this, and we want to do this, and we got this much, and the turnover and the revenue. To pitch much more than you can possibly get to put pressure on the sales force and the workforce. Whereas when you tell 20 villagers that tomorrow the helicopter is going to come and is going to send down packets of dal and sabzi, dal and rice, hot at 12 o'clock. And when the 20 villagers come there and the dal and rice doesn't come, then the next time you call them, 15 will come. Because you've broken 15 hearts, 5 hearts. You've lost their trust. So it's better to say, I'm not sure, we'll let you know if the dal rice comes. And then to their surprise, if you get to their homes and say, yeah, it came. Then their belief in humanity increases. So that's the biggest lesson I've learned, to not shatter faith. Because people can do without food and water, but we can't do without love, we can't do without faith, we can't do without... Right, so I think it's the Japanese who said that the greatest honor you can accord somebody is to listen to them. So if it is indeed true that they said that, then thank you to that nation. I'm in fact going to go there to watch the World Cup in October. Thank you for listening to me, thank you for according me this honor.